Peace, family. Welcome to the Aetherium, the spiritual sanctuary where where the spiritual practice of cosmic wellness is being pioneered by 𝗪𝗫. And we are continuing a reading that I started on Threads about the portals that are being opened by the Vatican. So I believe that the second portal was opened today, and 3 more are going to be opened by the 5th of January. Now, there's a lot going on around the 5th of January, right? There's a lot going on. The 6th of January, in fact, is, I believe, the U.S. President inauguration. And I just want to point out something that, the Catholic Church, the symbolism of what they're doing is what matters. Literally, when they started doing the Jubilee year, which is not at all anything like the liturgical Jubilee year, which was about equity and fairness and justice. That is from the book of Leviticus. There's no liturgical basis for the Catholic Jubilee year. It was something that was created by Pope Boniface, I want to say, in the, I believe it was the year around the 300s, actually. So it goes back pretty far, but let me just double check. I'm so silly. No, 1300. It's been celebrated since 1300. The holy door element was introduced in 1423, but the official website of the 2025 Jubilee says it began in 1425. This is only the first time that it will be part of, that part of the ritual will be performed within a prison. And that is because this current Pope, Francis, I think his name is, he's super into prison reform. But hey, I don't know. I don't really know anything about him. But basically what would happen is the doors represented entering, they would have people go through one door at first at the Basilica of St. John Lateran, and later they would have all of the basilicas open their doors so that the pilgrims could walk through them, because passing through the holy door expressed a decision to follow God, to follow and be guided by Jesus, who is the Good Shepherd. Now, I said Jesus, I did not say Yeshua, and there is a distinction. If you follow me, you know. This fictional character of Jesus that was created by the Catholic Church that, is meant to align with essentially the sun god and the story of the sun god. It's all extremely esoteric. It's just esoteric mysticism, you know what I mean? And it's incredibly important to be clear on that. What this esoteric mysticism, it's important to be clear on the fact that this is all esoteric mysticism, no different than what witches do in Wicca, no different than what priests and priestesses do in Alpha, or Babalaos do in Ifa, or what priests and priestesses are doing in Santeria, voodoo, any of that stuff. It is on par. It is the same. Okay? So they know the spiritual significance of, and I'm hearing Mithra the bull. There was a golden bull, wasn't there, named 𝗪𝗪. Oop, this is stuck on here. All right, I got it for you. I have to look and see who 𝗪𝗪 was. Iranian deity of covenants, light, oaths, justice, the sun, contracts, and friendship. An all-seeing protector of truth, and the guardian of cattle, the harvest, and the waters. Okay, so that has to do with Zoroastrianism and pre-Zoroastrian Iran and later in their Roman Empire. I don't really know. I think it will become clear to me. But essentially what I guess they're saying is that this was, he's supposed to parallel 𝗪𝗪, Amun-Ra. But that's not the real Yeshua. And that's important to know. Because we want to be, following the way that Yeshua modeled. And I say this, like, when I started recording this, I said, don't take the Bible, the grimoire is what I call it. Don't take it at face value, because if you do, it will lead you into a world of trouble, because it has been taken and co-opted and turned into a weapon with some truth that has been warped and bastardized to serve a specific purpose, right? It is to lead people astray. So when these folks are walking through these doors, where are these doors leading? That's the question that you want to ask yourself. Now, whether or not I agree that the Pope looks scared, or that, there's some girl who's being kept from coming into her day, that could all be true, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I am here to talk about is whether or not, or what this ritual is, okay? So I spoke on what was going on when we had the last Jubilee, and I spoke on the actual liturgical Jubilee, which is about justice and fairness and resetting. And I spoke about the Catholic Jubilee, which is not based in anything. If anything, the Catholic Jubilee was started because the Vatican needed money, and they knew that they could get money from people, they could get more indulgences from people, because pilgrimages bring money to the city. This is a fact. Okay, so that is what that was about, and that's why it was reinstated. If the Pope can just decide, oh, okay, we're gonna have a Jubilee year, this is special, gonna have a Jubilee year, and it's not grounded in anything except the fact that they want to, like, that doesn't even make any sense. So there are no rules then, is what you're telling me. This person is above the rules, which means that if any one person is above the rules, then there are no rules. Okay, then they're not following the sacred rules, the sacred laws. That's what that tells me. So that's just what this this all tells me. The 5 doors, where are these 5 doors leading to? Okay, the first it was just 1 door, now it's 5 doors, and this is the first time that one of those doors will be in a prison. On Christmas, 𝗂𝗲𝗁, who I've spoken on this, he is a vessel for a fallen one, and I believe that that fallen one is 𝗂𝗲𝗁. Something was coming up about 𝗵𝗵𝗱𝗁 earlier today, and that there's an 𝗵𝗵𝗱 worm in social media right now that is opening portals, burrowing to hell. What I was saying about Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the ozone layers, that I believe that the nuclear bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki opened up the hole in the ozone layer that lowered the density, or lowered the vibration of the planet, and allowed higher density, more dense energies to filter into the earth realm. And this brought in lower consciousness beings from the 2D that were used in this war on humanity, in this spiritual war. Okay? That is what I believe. Because in the 70s, you know, it doesn't make sense that, like, okay, yeah, there were more cars on the road in the 70s, but the ozone layer has been being healed, even though we are in a climate crisis, right? We're in a climate crisis, and the ozone layer is being healed, even though we are using more energy, driving more cars, using more gasoline than ever before. The 70s are when the hole in the ozone layer was detected. They didn't know about it before that. That doesn't mean that that's when it was created. I believe that it was created then, because what hasn't changed is that there haven't been nuclear bombs dropped since then. But we are at a state with a possibility of a third world war, where there could be, people have talked about. I don't think there will be, but people have talked about there being nuclear warfare. So, I'm wondering. So I'm curious to find out. I finally finished eating, so I can pay attention to this reading. I'm curious to find out. I know that there's a connection between 𝗂𝗲𝗁 and this portal opening, and I want to know what it is. I want to know where these 5 portals are leading to. Whatever in reverse. Where are these 5 portals leading to? Stability in reverse, decisions in reverse, daydreams in reverse. Just move over. So I definitely feel like they're calling in reinforcements. Refreshing blood paths is what I'm hearing. Because why did they have another one in 2015? I know that they said it was to celebrate they said it was to celebrate anxiety, fear of not being able to control miracles and reverse dark miracles. That's what they are. Grounded in reverse. It is to bring about, like, the apocalypse, but in a bad sense. It is to destabilize, lost, and sinner in reverse. So are they they're bringing out their dark forces. They have to do this ritualistically every few years in order to maintain power, which they're losing as more people are awakening. So they knew that they were going to have to do an extra one. That's why they did 2015 to 2016. In order to ensure the chaos that is being caused right now. So some of this stuff, it's not actually like karma. Some of it is like the games that they are playing. Some of this is like they're paying for their karma with other people. And that's part of the vampiric pacts that I talked about, permanent in reverse, because it's not permanent. With carnal in the reverse, it's not permanent. They use the souls of innocence because those are very magically powerful to pay the beings that they get their power from. I'm seeing that scene in Runaways in the graphic novels where the kids see their parents like making offerings to the 𝗔𝗲𝗱𝗁, which are huge like beings, unforeseen. But something happened that like they did not anticipate, which is like that they're not able to continue moving forward with something. Why would they not anticipate that? They really believe that they could get away with what they were doing. But the veils have been dissolved. Like, it's over. They can't continue on the way that they've been doing. They were not able to beat the system. That's the insanity, is they really thought that they would be able to. Innocence. And they're being made to pay for everything. Because the thing is, like, hell is overrun. Hell is overrun with, like, the earth plane is overrun with shaitan that are trying to burrow through us to find their way back home, to get back to source, to get back to light. Because honestly, at the end of the day, that's what they all really want. These beings that have not been able to cross over because of being trapped in the karmic cycles, they're tired. They want to go home. Beauty in reverse. So the 5 doors, 5 has to do with the king, the sun, creativity, divine will, divine right to rule. 5 pillars of colonialism, and the 5 pointed star, the pentagram. Numerology, change, freedom, adventure, dynamic, energy. So beauty in reverse. I definitely sense that they have been opening these 5 doors in order to bring in more and more of this destabilization energy, the 𝗵𝗵𝗱 chaos energy. And what did he have to do with all of this? Because obviously they're freeing people. They're freeing people. They're also keeping people imprisoned. They don't want, okay, so this is the first time that they're doing the ritual in a prison. Diddy is in prison right now. He crossed the wrong people. It is a Jubilee year, but by all accounts, it is a Jubilee year in terms of the biblical Jubilee. When they open those 5 doors, they're feeding the 5 fallen ones, who then give them power. That breakdown that Diddy had was actually like, it's not about him being upset about being in prison. It's about he's in jail. Like, this is his first, his vessel's in jail. He is in jail. He can't do anything. He has no access anymore. And y'all know who I've already said he's a vessel for. They're bonded. This is what they've tried to do, is they've tried to merge to forge forge the fallen ones to the DNA of these. And what I pick up is that Diddy was, in a past life, the priest king. He was a priest king who betrayed the rest of their sect. Red Dragon, he might have vampire lineage. He's like, he's done for. He's toast. The fallen one that he represents. Doing it in a jail for the first time. Did he have to engage with the entity that he's been feeding these people to? It is real. Well, that proves everything. They're trying to bring about a prophecy, which would make sense if they're working with the evangelicals and the theists duality in reverse. Yeah, he's stuck with him. He has to pay the piper. It's time for him to pay the piper. Growth, haunted in reverse. He's gonna die in there. Get tested. Divine justice and karma is on its way. All right, no, that's not all. I want to know why those 5 doors. What is each door leading to? A different beast. The 5 elements. He knows that he's done for. Hunt. It's over. Love in reverse, miracles in reverse. It's over. Yeah, it's these like shaitan. Keeper of the keys is Hecate. Crossroads. Crossroads. It has something to do with the crossroads. X is the 24th. So that's 6. Yeah, it is. Okay, so there's 5 beings that they are serving. 5 portals that are black holes. Five portals that are black holes. And they've been ritualistically feeding them. They're gone, though. They're gone. They don't have access to them anymore. As long as... So they had to feed them, and then their human host, they would go out and live in the human host, which had to be somebody of their lineage who also was high vibrational, who had enough melanin to be able to conduct that high of a vibration, or a high of a frequency of electricity. Because the thing is, it goes high and really, really low, but it does so slowly. So the peaks and the valleys are really high and really low, but they're spread out really, really, in really, really long wavelengths, like really slow. So they still have access to that consciousness because they were there. But yeah, it's like really fucked up and abominable, demonic, honestly. There are no words for how disgusting this energy is. Because it's like the worst things that you could imagine, like being done and happening. That's what this is. And that, like, it's the harvesting of that energy that is conducted towards these this is what they've been feeding, really. These portals. People are supposed to walk through these doors, and then they're like filled up with this energy, and they go out into the world and they carry this energy with them. It's like being baptized in this energy, and they carry that into the world. I'm seeing an eagle and a falcon with a little helmet on it, but it's like its helmet is keeping it from being able to see, so it can't like fly away. I'm seeing somebody with it on its arm. It reminds me of the Huns, the enemy in Mulan. And hearing, like, I think it's called 400 Lux by Lord from Pure Heroine. Yeah, why is all of this stuff coming back? No new, nothing new is being made. No originality. Why? Because a lot of people are just vessels right now. They're just vessels. They don't want food. They don't want nourishment. They just want, like, they're okay with that. And you don't give them anything new or good because they don't need that in order to produce the energy that is desired. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So that's the a-spiritualism. And that's the ether spirit. And I'm seeing a marine entity, a mind control marine entity. If you know, you know. Pale white. Death. Unsacred death. She's in the darkness. Honestly, what would fix all of this is like coming into balance. Like what really matters right now and just moving forward is that we all come into balance and bring our masculine and our feminine into balance, because that is what they have used. Like bring all of our energy into balance within ourselves, because that imbalance is the dissolution, the lack of balance is what creates this instability that allows for this kind of like fucked up shit to happen, basically. And we know why it happened, because of the fallen ones. And it started in the upper realms. It started in the higher realms. With Melkor, aka 𝗪𝗪𝘁. So 𝗪𝗪𝘁 is the unsacred feminine. Regardless of what anyone says, that is what it is. So this has to do with the 5 elements, which includes ether. Remember the movie The Fifth Element? And what this lady online said was that they had some girl who they had done a ritual to and like harvested her organs or whatever, so that somebody wouldn't be able to become a deity, or that people wouldn't perceive this person as a deity. And it wasn't somebody who is of European descent. It's someone of a different ethnic group. And I pick up that this is exactly, she's actually right, is what I'm picking up. So white is the ether, the fifth element. If you remember Lilu from the fifth element, born in time for the year 2000. So they did another one of these rituals, Jubilee rituals at the year 2000. And then they were supposed to wait until this coming year, but they did another one in 2015 to 2016. So they're doing another one. This is what starts this new Jubilee year. And this is why this is part of the Julian, or it's not even a Julian calendar, it's the Gregorian calendar. This is part of the Gregorian calendar, why they have this at this time. Don't bother, because in the Leviticus, like the liturgical Jubilee year, you're not supposed to like grow or plant or anything in a Jubilee year every 50 years. Don't bother trying to set like intentions or anything for this coming year. And I'm talking, yeah, like 2025 or whatever, but we're really thinking about like, when was the new year? The biblical calendar was lunisolar. The year began in the first month of the Hebrew year, generally corresponding to March, April in the Gregorian calendar. So yeah, this is, in that case, this is it would be around the vernal equinox. And we've been talking about this. And we've been talking about like atonement and absolution leading up to this. This is what we've been preparing for. The 50th year is to be proclaimed as a year of freedom and restoration, which would be announced with the sounding of the ram's horn on the Day of Atonement in the 7th month, which is September to October, which would be the autumnal equinox. Jubilee and shofar. The sound of the shofar was significant for marking the beginning of the Jubilee year. The Day of Atonement, a key Jewish holiday in the 7th month, was the day when the trumpet was sounded to declare the Jubilee. And what I'm also picking up and what I also want to say is that he knows that judgment has been cast upon him and that he has been judged guilty and that he is going to have to pay for his crimes against humanity and against the collective. And that's why he was having that meltdown and that freak out. He knows he's not getting out. He knows it's over for him. Judgment has been cast. And they really tried to do absolutely everything to bargain so that they wouldn't have to pay and that they could like put their guilt and their blame and their karma onto other people. And that's why so many of us were experiencing really fucked up karma, but it didn't work because they've been revealed for who they really are. Because of the mind control. Mind control takes away people's consent. So if like they're paying for everyone on the planet because of the false matrix. Everyone on the planet. And because of that, because of what people did while they've been under this spell work, they're the ones who are actually taking on a lot of that karma. So it's ether, which is white, spirit. And then there's red, which is fire. Well, there's air, which is yellow. Then there's blue, water, black or green, which is earth. oh no, fire, which is red, and then earth. So white, spirit, Aetherium, or excuse me, spirit, ether, that's the a-spiritualism. And then I feel like it's blue and yellow, which makes green, but the mind and the emotional bodies. So that's cis-heteropatriarchy, let's say blue. And then we have anti-indigeneity, anti-blackness, white domination and racism, which I want to say is well, capitalism and industrialism to me feel like, well, capitalism would have to do with like our energy, so that would be fire, and industrialism would be earth. So fire, earth, spirit, what air and water are what's missing. And either way, that like I want to say that water would go with cis heteropatriarchy, so then air would go with anti-indigeneity. Although you kind of think that air would go with everything, but those are the 5 pillars, and they each have like an entity that's being fed. And it's all based off of hate. 𝗂𝗪𝗓 taught war, so that has to do with capitalism. 𝗪𝗪𝗁. Yeah, it's just like this is what it is. And then Ace of Swords is telling me that like a new paradigm is being born. 5 of Pentacles in the reverse position. Yeah, with this Jubilee year, the meek shall inherit the earth, the Beatitudes. We've talked about this so much over the course of the year, but especially in the mysteries. It's over. The suffering is over because they're receiving their judgment. A flood is coming in. So this is what I feel like. 6 of Pentacles, the healing, the restoration. Ace of Cups, you can't make this up. 3 of Pentacles, building new earth. 3 of Wands in the reverse, end of the spell. 7 of Wands, end of the spiritual warfare. 4 of Pentacles, death. They're having to pay for what they've done. These 5 doors were leading to these 5 powers and principalities, I guess you might say. But they were, yeah. I guess that's the easiest way to put it. I can't really get too much deeper into it. Like, and I'm also picking up that it's not important, like, it's not exactly important, that stuff. It's just important to know, like, what I was talking about. And so, yeah, they're not able to continue whatever witchcraft they were doing to keep these chosen ones from coming into their power. That's over. That's done with. Everybody sees it now. Everyone sees like their divinity now. They were going, okay, at the crossroads, crossroads. Yeah, well, they say that it's wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Metal is what I would say is ether. Illusions. They're just primordial evils. Like, it doesn't really matter what or who they are. They're just primordial evils or where they came from. ML and like this spiritual warfare like happened on earth. It's just a matter of like, catching up. They've been trying to stop they've been trying to manifest through earth because as above so below, as within so without. They've been trying to manifest from the material realm by making things happen in the material realm. They've been hoping that they would get certain reactions out of the spiritual realm, but they're just not getting it, that they're not more supreme. That's what it comes down to. They're not getting it. They're not getting it. You're not supreme. Fuck. Just fall in line, bro. There's no reason not to. But the scales of balance have been tipped in our favor. So illusions are over, voice in reverse, daydreams in reverse. They're not going to be able to cast any more of these illusions on people. Or the spells, they're not going to be able to do any more of this spell work that they've been doing. Everybody, the time has come for, I'm hearing the time has come for my voice to be heard. I will not be pushed aside or turned into your own, all cause you won't listen. So all these people who pledged themselves to this demonic coven, it's over for them. Who were of service, it's over for them. These bloodlines, it's over unless you atoned. Miracles, voodoo, and memento mori, voice in reverse, unforeseen in reverse, vanity, exactly, awaken. It's over for them. They have no choice but to continue opening the doors because they have to. They have no choice but to do it. They have to. I don't think that, and everything that they've stolen is being restored on the other side of this ritual of opening these doors. Innocence in reverse, lust. Yep. Everything that they've taken, everything that they've stolen, our power, our agency, our autonomy, our sovereignty. We're getting all of that back. Our innocence, our sacredness, our sacral powers, our creativity, saint. And we are to be honored and venerated for the work that we have done, chosen ones. So that's what I have for you all. I know that there's more that I could say. I know that there is, but my iPad's about to die. And also, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. So I love you all truly and deeply. I hope that this was helpful. Choose love. Choose the sacred over the profane. They may profane, but in the mundane, but doesn't mean anything because guess what? We 35 on the timer. It's 8 and 8. A change is coming. Justice is served. The bugle has been blown. Okay, all prophecies. I am come to fulfill the prophecy. Exactly. I hope that this was helpful. 3553 and also 555. Yeah. I'll see you on the flip side. Happy hunting.